Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7 FM.com. Here is the Z107.7 Local News for Monday, September 16th, 2024. The Sheriff's Department is investigating the death of a Yucca Valley man as a homicide. On Friday, just before 7 p.m., San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies and medical personnel responded to a call for medical aid at a residence in the 55,500 block of 29 Palms Highway in Yucca Valley. Deputies report finding James Bootwell, 71, inside the home, and he was pronounced dead. As part of their investigation, deputies determined that Bootwell was the victim of a violent assault, and the Sheriff's Specialized Investigations Division Homicide Detail assumed what is now being considered a murder investigation. The Sheriff's Department says that a suspect has not been identified and remains at large. Anyone with information regarding this case is asked to contact the Homicide Detail at 909-890-4904. A Yucca Valley man was arrested for suspicion of assault and elder abuse after holding a knife to the throat of his victim. On Thursday evening, a witness reported that Eric Baez, 49, held a knife to the throat of an elderly person. County Sheriff's deputies responded to the 58,500 block of Barron Drive in Yucca Valley, where they report finding the victim uninjured. Eric Baez was arrested for investigation into assault with a deadly weapon and causing injury to an elderly adult and was booked into the Morongo Basin Jail on $40,000 bail. In 2017, Baez was arrested for suspicion of violating a restraining order and making threats against his family in Yucca Valley. The Bureau of Land Management has responded to recent vocal opposition to a proposed communications tower by extending the public comment period until October 7th, a 3-week extension past the original deadline of September 16th. Reporter Gabriel Hart has details on the extension and a look at public comment submitted to BLM one resident believes may have been the catalyst for this decision.
Morongo Valley resident Sarah Fernandez, who organized last week's GoFundMe campaign that successfully raised over $12,000 for legal services to help residents oppose the tower project, told Z107.7 that while the attorney she has acquired has nothing to do with BLM's extension, the attorney was, quote, very pleased to hear the news, unquote. Fernandez said that while she could only speculate, she was aware of a resident who submitted a comment via email just 2 hours before the extension was announced, a sequence of events she feels was no coincidence. While the resident requested to be anonymous for the story, their letter cites federal laws about discrimination and civil rights, expressing the deception to expect the community to read over 400 pages of their report and submit substantiated comments when many of them don't have computers or smartphones, weren't adequately notified, or might be too low income to afford attorneys to write letters on their behalf. The resident's letter cites multiple executive orders to support their claims, including, quote, the belief that BLM is in direct violation of Executive Order 12898, discriminating against the low-income population and violating the civil rights of many Morongo Valley citizens. The resident's letter asked the BLM to immediately reject the application to build the tower, urging they hire a third party to analyze Executive Order 12898 in its entirety and publicly disclose any violations and discrimination by the BLM against the citizens of Morongo Valley. This is an ongoing story. Tune in to Z107.7 FM for further updates. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Gabriel Hart.
Thank you, Gabriel. In related news, local officials at the Morongo Valley Community Services District provided the use of Covington Park's multi-purpose room yesterday to assist residents who may not be computer savvy to write their own substantiated comments to the BLM regarding the tower project. Afterwards, the Morongo Valley CSD Board of Directors approved their updated resolution recommending the BLM deny the grant of right-of-way to the project's applicant. Growth of the line fire has effectively stalled over the weekend. The fire burning near Highland and throughout the San Bernardino Mountains led to a number of evacuations in Arrowhead, Big Bear, and nearby communities. The fire sent smoke across the county, including through the Morongo Basin, and led to school closures last week. As of CAL FIRE's Sunday night update, the fire is currently at 42% containment and is currently burning across 39,026 acres, an increase of less than 1,500 acres since Thursday. Skies were blue in the high desert over the weekend, and cooling temperatures across the region will hopefully provide relief to firefighters and emergency responders. Friday's arraignment of suspected arsonist Justin Haustenberg, a 34-year-old resident of Norco, was postponed on Friday. Haustenberg, who is accused of trying 3 times to start the blaze, which grew into the line fire, is now expected to be arraigned today in San Bernardino County Court on 9 felony charges related to arson. With permit requests for live entertainment mounting, the city of 29 Palms has come to realize they are unprepared. To update and revise the process, the 29 Palms Planning Commission will host a workshop tomorrow evening on how to best streamline permitting for live entertainment. Reporter Heather Clisby has more.
Morongo Basin fans of karaoke, live bands, open mic nights, drag shows, comedy, book readings, and dance performances may soon enjoy a richer variety of options in 29 Palms. Community Development Director Keith Gardner informed the 29 Palms City Council on September 10th that the city has received an increasing number of permit requests for live entertainment events. Turns out that a definition of live entertainment does not even exist in the current development code. Thus, the 29 Palms Planning Commission has been tasked by the council to host a workshop this week and address the issue. First task is to clearly define live entertainment in a way that is appropriate to the city. The commission will then introduce and discuss potential policies and procedures for such public events and determine if any proposed changes require a code amendment. The commission will also discuss if some existing establishments, such as a bar, already include live entertainment and need no further permitting. The issue of high permit fees, ranging from $2,100 to $5,000, had come up at the September 10th council meeting, but it was unclear if the cost issue will be part of this week's workshop. The meeting takes place on Tuesday, September 17th at 5 p.m. at City Hall, 6136 Adobe Road. It can be live streamed or viewed on demand via the city's website, 29palms.org. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Heather Clisby.
The 29 Palms Cemetery District Board of Trustees meets tomorrow afternoon to discuss policies related to abandoned site requirements. Their meeting is open to the public and begins tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. at 5350 Encina Avenue in 29 Palms. And finally, Theater 29 will be holding auditions for their first musical of their new season later this month. Arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas tells you how to get your Edelweiss on.
Theater 29 is excited to announce auditions for the first musical of the 24-25 season, the classic Rodgers and Hammerstein blockbuster, The Sound of Music. Co-directors Lisa Hodgson and Bianca Stoker are looking for a cast of 25 to 30 of all ages, including 7 children of a variety of ages to play the 7 Von Trapp children, one as young as 6. Hodgson and Stoker are willing to stray from traditional appearances in order to cast the best performers to fit the roles, based solely on their singing, acting, and dancing abilities. Auditions for The Sound of Music will be held on Sunday, September 29th at 5 p.m. on the Theater 29 stage at 73637 Sullivan Road in the city of 29 Palms. All roles are open for consideration. Auditioners should prepare 16 to 32 bars of a musical theater piece showcasing their range and be prepared to dance. For a full character breakdown, please visit theater29.org/auditions. Reporting for Z107.7, this is arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas.
That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear about news happening, let us know. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z107.7 Local News, I'm Jeff Harmatz.